There. All right, so we're going to look at modeling with linear functions, okay? You're going to identify inputs and outputs. All of these equations should be linear. You got to make sure you understand that, because that's going to help you go, because some of these things will make you go, think other types of functions, and you don't need to, okay? So you got to understand that if a word problem gives you two sets of inputs and two sets of outputs, those things are ordered pairs, right? So you can find slope and then write the equation from there. If they give you inputs and outputs and just kind of in the beginning type things, those are y-intercepts in the beginning. So we'll just kind of get started and see where we end up at. This homework is like 10 questions, right? I don't know. I pulled a good bit of them, so to give you a little bit of help. The value of a forklift. Elliot buys a new forklift for his business. It will cost $140,000 and will decrease in value each year. The graph below shows the value of the forklift after the first 6 years of ownership. Okay. How much is the forklift worth after 6 years? Well, if we're looking at this, it has to be what? 20,000, but it really should be less than what? 20, right? Y'all agree? Do you understand why it should be less than? Well, it keeps decreasing, but look at it. At 6 years, it's at what? 20, right? So after 6 years, then that would mean that it would be below that, right? So not a well-written question, but just kind of keep that in mind. After how many years is the forklift worth $80,000? Well, that's an output, right? So go over here, go to 80,000, hit it there, come down, and that's what? 3. Find the slope of this line. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick 2 points that are, well, they'll be perfectly on there, right? Doesn't matter which 2. I like smaller numbers, so can we pick these? All right, so if I pick those, then it's kind of look, well, I'm going to do this. Down and like that, right? So it's going from 60 down to 40. That's the change of how much? 20,000, right? 20K. And then X is what? So negative 20,000, right? Y'all see how I've done that? Okay. How far did it go in the Y's over how far it went in the X's? And it's negative because it's decreasing, correct? So, by how many dollars per year is the forklift decreasing in value? The forklift is decreasing by what? 20,000 per year, right? What if that's true? Forklifts take a big hit like that? I have to ask my friends at well, you think about it. Think about how big the batteries are and everything else that goes on that. They're not cheap. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll check with my friend. I got a friend that does rental stuff. I got a friend. What's the rental place off of Chase? Right there. Corner of Chase and Newton Bridge. United. It used to be Neff. So I got a friend that works for Neff that now works for United. So I'll ask, see if that's about realistic. Or you could always Google it, right? Okay.
Mercedes depreciation is way worse.
All right. Find the equation of the line where v is the value after t years. Well, we've got the slope, right? What do we need? So if we're going to write the equation, we need two things. We need the slope and the what? So we know that slope is negative 20,000. What's the y-intercept, guys? That's right, 140,000. So that'd be y equals negative 20,000 x plus 140, right? There you go. Y'all remember that? Right here. The y-intercept is where it touches or crosses the y-axis, right? And all of these word problems should be taken in or happening within the first quadrant. So if they're happening within the first quadrant, then that far left is the y-axis. So that's why we say crosses or touches for such instances as this. All right, so okay. V equals negative 20,000 t plus 140, right? Because they're going to nail you on that. We could V of t. You know, I don't think so. It should just be V. Yeah. They would have told you, bless you. That would exactly be correct. The value with respect to time, yes, sir. Yeah, you're correct. But their representation that they want is just a variable equal to, yeah. All right. Day, in 2004, a school's population was 946. 2008, that population had grown to 1598. Assume that the population is changing linearly, which means, hey guys, it's going at a constant rate of change. How much did the population grow between 2004 and 2008? How much? Well, that'd be 1598 minus who? 946, right? That'd be 652. So that's 1598 minus 946. So it changed to 652 people, right? And that's 4 years. So if you do that, it's roughly about 150, 160, right? Yeah, roughly, rough averaging. How long did it take for the population to grow from 946 to 1598? 4 years. What are they pulling here? Our change in X and our change in what? Our Y. What is the average population growth per year? Well, folks, that would be what? 652 divided by 4, which is what? 163 people every year, right? Per year. 163 students per year. It's not bad. All right, what was the population in in year 2000? Huh? You could take 163 times what? Times 4, right? And then, what was it? 946 minus this number. So what does that give me? What? 600. Okay. All right. Excuse me. 652 students. So 946 minus 652. I got 294. 652. Is that okay? Yeah, y'all agree? Sweet. Find an equation for the population P of the school T years after 2000. Well, folks, why did they have us find 2000? No. Read that question. Find an equation for the population of the school T years after 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the population in 2000? That would be the y-intercept, would it not? That's exactly why they made us do that. So all they're doing is finding the change in x, change in y, the slope, and then finding the y-intercept. So that is a p sub t equals what? 163 t, right? Plus what? 294. So using your equation, predict the population of the school in 2011. Well, you can't just put 2011 in there. What do you put in there? What do you put in this equation, guys? That's exactly right. It'd be 163 times 11 plus 294. And let's pop it in a calculator. 2,087 students. How about that? Now, be curious. Anybody know when they start looking at building new schools? Anybody know? When you have reached 80% capacity, that's when they start planning for new schools. 102%? No, that'd be a little too late. But they start looking at it at 80% capacity. Yeah. So. Sir? College student earns $30 per day delivering advertising brochures door to door, plus 25 cents for each person he interviews. How many people did he interview on a day when he earned $39? Well, normally you would say, hey, y equals what? He gets paid $30 flat, right? Plus 0.25 per person, right? Well, if he earned, that joker earned $39, because that's an output, right? So that's 9 divided by 0.25. That joker's going to go up because that's big one divided by a smaller one. So that's 36 what? 36 people, right? Fair enough? Yeah, okay. Just remember when you're doing these that, and I didn't pull every one of them. I just pulled some that I thought, okay. Just note that they're linear. Okay. A restaurant has a fixed cost of $141 per day and an average unit cost of $3.50 for each meal served. If a typical meal costs $5, how many customers must eat at the restaurant each day for the owner to break even? Okay. Now this one's not as hard as what you think it is, because you got to think about this. It costs $3.50 for the meal, and he sells it for what? $5. So really, how much is he making on every meal? $1.50 per meal, right? Right. Minus who? 140, right? Oh, snap. Sorry. How many customers must eat at the restaurant for the break even? What does that mean, break even? Covers his costs. He's covered the cost to keep the lights on and to be able to say, hey, he's got a business. So profit 0, right? So if I take this, move it over to the other side, I get 1.5x equals to 141. And if I take and divide both sides, ladies and gentlemen, by 1.5, 41 divided by 1.5 is 94 what? Customers. Right? 94 customers. Does everybody understand where I got the 1.5? That's 5 minus 3.5 equals 1.5. I wish I had a better explanation than that, but that's all we got. You okay? Yeah. Because you got how much you sell it for, how much it costs, the profit he's getting out of it, minus your overhead, right? Profit times how much. Yeah. So,